The time is 9:50 a.m. In about 10 minutes, swimmers will be in the pool to start session 4 here in this morning's Saturday prelims. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Moore here from the York YMCA Aquatic Club, and today we present to you the MAC 2019 Swimming Championships Session 4 here this morning. Again, all preliminaries. Let's take a look at the events here for today. First up at 10 o'clock will be the women's 400-yard IM. There will be 3 heats for that. We'll go over the lineups and such when it comes to that time. Then event 2, will be event 2 of the day, event number 14 overall, would be the men's 400 IM, and that one will have 4 different heats. Event number 15 and the third preliminary of this morning will have the women's 100-yard butterfly, following by the other events, the men's 100-yard butterfly. Then the following event, the following 2 events will be both women's and men's 200-yard freestyle, which should then set us up for our final couple of events in the preliminaries this morning. We'll have the women's and men's 100-yard breaststroke, the women's and men's 100-yard backstroke, as well. Well, actually, no, the backstroke would indeed end it. And then we will have a 1 sole time trial to end it for the men's 50-yard freestyle for 1 swimmer of Messiah. But that is what we would have for the preliminaries here this morning in York, Pennsylvania. So let's take a look at a couple of statistics when we look here into each event. Going into the women's 400-yard IM, you have Kirsten Seawee, who is the 2-time defending champion of this event. You will see her in Heat 3 in Lane 4. In event number 14 and the second event here today, it will be the men's, as mentioned, the men's 400-yard IM. TJ Dalton won this competition last year. He looks to defend it as well. Then in the women's 100-yard butterfly, you have Bujanowski, who is the top qualifier with a 57.36. However, 2-time champion in this event, Casey Cotton, looks to make it 3 for the senior. She has the second fastest preliminary time, coming into today's preliminaries with a 58.45. Then for the men's 100-yard butterfly, you'll have Bryce Schaefer, who we saw actually do a time trial off the air yesterday in session 2. Schaefer is also the 2-time, or I apologize, he won the championship last year in this 100-yard butterfly. He looks to make it 2 times, the sophomore of Albright. Then we go to the women's 200-yard freestyle, in which Megan Hupp, who is the favorite to win, she's won the 50 free 2 times, didn't win it yesterday, and she's also the 2-time 1,650 free. She's looking to add the women's 200-yard freestyle to her extraordinary resume of wins. Then the men's 200-yard freestyle, and a couple of these events, you'll have a bunch of former champions mixed in with defending champions. The 2017 champion, Martin Brodon, he won this. He won this back in 2017 of Widener. The junior looks to earn his second title in this event. Then in the women's 100-yard breaststroke, you have Ali Sell, who is the fastest. However, the 2-time defending champion, Nikolsky, who we saw had an excellent performance yesterday. The junior of Misericordia looks to make it 3 in a row. She'll be in Heat 3 with the second fastest overall time. Sell will be in Heat 4. And as for the men's 100 breaststroke, Chamberlain won this event 2 times back in 2016 and 2017. He ran a 1 minute 1 minute and 6/10 of a second in his qualification time. He's actually in the second heat of this. He looks to make it his third, and the defending champion of this, Hummaker of Kings, the junior, he has the fastest time, or the second fastest time rather, 59.83. The fastest is by Mark Preedy, 58.69, the junior of Arcadia. Hammaker looks to defend his title. Then for the women's 100-yard backstroke, again, 2 champions or former champions as well will come to compete. Hollenbach will be in Heat 5. She is last year's defending champion. And Kobe Steen was the 2017 champion. For the men's 100-yard backstroke, we have Colin Jordan, who will be in Heat 3. He won this event last year, but he'll have to compete against a very strong Widener senior, Aaron Green, who won this event twice back in 2016 and 2017 and finished second in this event last year. Again, Green in individual races has never finished lower than second in his entire career. So as they get ready to get underway here for the first preliminary here this morning, we'll have the finals tonight at 6 p.m., similar to yesterday. 2 days left. In Heat 1 of this women's 400-yard AM, we have Gina Mecca, a freshman of Widener. You have McCarter, who is a freshman of Albright. Britta Heath, a senior of Messiah. Gabby Hartney, a junior of Arcadia. Tori Freeling, a freshman of Widener, as well as Ella Sobek, a junior of Messiah. They now announce the first event officially. The record in this event set back in 1990, 434.75. Let's see if that can be tracked down. It was set by Megan Devine, and it was set right here in the MAC Championships about 29 years ago. So get up. And they're underway. Here with Heat 1 of 3. Mecca out to the lead here in the early portion. She's next to McCarter. Again, they'll have 400 yards up and down. This facility 25 yards in distance. So as they come here and back around to the start, they'll complete their first 50, in which they'll have 350 yards to go. Right now in the early lead is Gabby Hartney. Hartney, a junior out of Arcadia, she as well swam pretty well earlier on yesterday in the preliminaries. She looks to set the tempo here in Heat 1. Hartney right now with about a stroke and a half lead over second place. And the fastest time in this particular section, Britta Heath, the senior of Messiah. Just touch and turn around now as they head to the backstroke here, the 400-yard IM. Looks like Heath is starting to pick it up there on the backstroke. Heath now taking the lead, but as well in lane 3, it looks like McCarter has gained some ground there through the backstroke as well. Heath barely up in front. It's about neck and neck for second as well between McCarter and Hartney. Heath come back around. They'll backstroke one more time. Hartney will fall to third. It'll be McCarter and Heath that will battle for the lead. It looks like now McCarter may have taken the lead as they come through the next 25. We'll have 25 more yards to go here on the backstroke. before they go to the next portion. Neck and neck, it's still between Heath and Hartney. Arcadia versus Messiah, as they will now transition over. They'll take a long dive down towards the third line, and they come up. They are as neck and neck as it gets. 200 yards in, 200 more to go, but this is as close as it gets. They're separated by at least 4/10 of a second. It's still, though, in the lead as of the moment, Hartney. In lane 5, actually, rather, Hartney coming back into it there for the lead. In lane 4, rather, Heath still in the lead. Hartney in third, trying to close the gap back up, but separating out is Heath. McCarter now getting passed by Hartney as they are working on yard 300 when they come back to touch, and then it'll be the freestyle to end it. A commanding lead right now. It's about 2 lines in the bottom of the pool. It's about maybe 10 yards of a lead right now for the Messiah Senior. Heath now will swim away, and it's now expanded to about 15. She is setting a pretty good tone. She'll complete the first 25 with ease, and her lead is now expanding. It is still neck and neck between Hartney and McCarter for second, but right now, no one's going to be able to catch Britta Heath of Messiah. She'll now get ready. She'll have 50 more yards to go. Flip back around. McCarter pulling away there in second. But at the end of this all, Britta Heath of Messiah is going to take away, or is going to come away with a victory here in the opening preliminaries of the women's 400-yard IM. So Heath, the final time, 4:48.02. That's actually a second slower than her pre-preliminary. Coming in second will be McCarter. Third, Hartney, 4:56.95 for McCarter. For Hartney, a 5-minute and 8/10 of a second time. In fourth will be Freeling of Widener, as well as Mecca in fifth of Widener. Sobek just finished, 5:18.36 is the junior of Messiah. And that is your leaderboard going into heat number 2. So get up on the boards. Gets quiet here. And we're underway. In lane 2, you have Brooke Schlott, a freshman of Albright. You have Grogan, a junior of Widener, 5:02.94. That's the third fastest time in this preliminary. Coming into this, she's in lane 3. You have Rachel Sampson, a junior of Arcadia, 4:47.21 in lane 4. Maylene Elder, a sophomore of Messiah, in lane 5, 4:54.56 was her time to beat. Eva Partridge, a senior of Widener, 5:09.20. She's in lane 6. And you'll have Kirkendall, a junior of Arcadia, 5:24.42, the slowest of all times here in this Heat 2. Kirkendall will be in lane 7. As they already head now for the 100th yard. And in the early portion, I'll tell you, Maylene Elders come out to swim is the sophomore of Messiah. Elder 4:54.56, as mentioned before, which is the second fastest time. 7 seconds faster was Rachel Sampson, the junior of Arcadia. But right now, Sampson trailing behind, with Elder setting a pretty good pace through the backstroke. Elder about a 10-yard lead as she goes now for the final 50 of her backstroke. In lane 4, as mentioned, you have Sampson, who sits right now in second, but it's all pretty much spread out, something we didn't necessarily see there in the early portions of the first heat of the 400 IM. But the speed right now of Elder is showing, as she will now complete the backstroke, and she'll have 200 yards left here in Heat 2. Now touching is Sampson, and they will go into the final 150 yards. It's a full length of the pole, first and second. It's going to be tough for them to get caught. In third right now, it's Grogan, the junior of Widener, and she's being followed by Brooke Schlott, but it's pretty much separated out distance-wise. Everyone spread apart pretty solidly, if I'd say so. It looks like the lead was cut into just a tiny bit by Sampson, but it's still a pretty big lead for Maylene Elder. Elder would love to win. You had Britta Heath, who won the opening IM. Heath, again, was a Messiah senior. Messiah looking to take the first 2 preliminaries potentially here, as they will head now to the freestyle. Let's see if Elder can close it out. She has about a 10-yard lead over Sampson. Sampson, though, built some momentum, it looks. But the question is, does she have enough time in the next 150 yards to try to come back? That's going to be the question. Here we go, the final 50 of this. Right now, again, I mean, Elder looks very strong as she now touches the other end and is taking the final 25. That lead is well expanded, and it's going to be Elder who does win this once she touches. It's now a 15-plus yard lead, and Elder comes to the end with the victory. In second, about 5 seconds separated, is Sampson. Actually, it's 6 seconds. Elder 4:44.85. Sampson 4:50.06. Coming in third, I believe, was Grogan, 5 minutes and 8/10 of a second. In fourth, Partridge of Widener, 5:07.72. Schloff in fifth, 5:08.59. And Kirkendall will come in sixth, the final person to finish, 5:25.67. So that'll do it for Heat 2. However, Sampson and Elder said they actually set, I believe, now the 2 fastest times of preliminaries, as Elder did beat her time by a full 10 seconds. So that's going to give her some good momentum. She may get into the top 8 going in to tonight for the 400-yard IM final. And we're underway for the final heat here of the women's 400-yard IM final, or preliminary. In lane 1, you have Maddie Martin, a senior, 5:32.99. You have Tagua, a junior Widener, 5:13.64. You have Rebecca Brown, a junior of Arcadia, 5:02.18. Kristen Seeley in lane 4, two-time defending champion in this event, the junior at Kings, 4:47.08, which is the time to beat. Sampson, by the way, of Arcadia had the second fastest time preliminary-wise, but she did not pass that 4:47.21. You have Abby Keating in lane 5, sophomore of Wilkes, 4:52.76. As well as McKay Wright, sophomore of Lycoming, 5:06.62 in lane 6, and Julie Hyatt, sophomore of Albright, 5:21.60. They head through the backstroke. It is neck and neck for the lead between lanes 3 and 5. Brown, Seeley, and Keating all neck and neck. Right now, barely out in front is Seeley, the defending two-time champion. But as we know for Seeley, this isn't her fastest part. It's when they go into the freestyle, she's indeed one of the fastest as well. But prevailing to the lead here on the backstroke is Keating. Again, Keating 5 seconds off of Seeley's time. Keating's the fastest here, second fastest in this preliminary. Third fastest time overall. Well, actually, I apologize, second fastest time. No, actually, I apologize. She is the third fastest overall time in the preliminary aspect, but right now still with a lead as they come halfway through the pool to complete their portion of the backstroke. So they will now transition back over. They take the long dive to the third line, and this is where Seeley can very much make a lot of momentum, is the junior at Kings. Obviously, we know very fast freestyle swimmer. This as well is one of her fastest portions compared to Keating. Obviously, again, the results of this don't 100% mean anything. It's only preliminaries, but you want to set the fastest time possible as Seeley is getting a lot closer. Both her and Keating setting right now the fastest paces between the two here in the Max Swimming Championship preliminaries. Again, this is session 4 of session 5 tonight, 6 p.m. for the finals of all these events we're doing here this morning. Seeley back to the lead. She'll touch, and they'll go back down 25 more yards before they head to the freestyle. Seeley, I think she's going to have a chance of pulling away over Keating because she has all the momentum right here. It's now down by 10 yards, and now she heads to the freestyle. Let's see how far she can pull away. It's now about 20 yards in difference. Seeley touches the end of the pool and will come back around. She is setting a pretty solid tempo, and she'll have 50 more yards to go when she touches. It's actually now cut down to about 13, but she still has about a half a pool lead on a lap. She continues to push through. She extends. Seeley, again, two-time defending champion in this event, looking to make it 3 times in a row in this 400-yard IM. And she is going to easily pull away here in these final parts to win the preliminary. Seeley, junior at Kings, does indeed take first. Keating, a sophomore of Wilkes, will come in second. And it's a far distance back. But in lane 3, it'll be Rebecca Brown in third. So continue to finish. In fourth will be Julie Hyatt. And then the rest of them will race on. So here are the final official times. CB 4:45.21. That's 2 seconds faster than her preliminary. Keating, who came in second, the Wilkes student, the sophomore, 4:52.14. That's just barely faster by 6/10 of her pre-qualifying time. In third, Rebecca Brown, 4:59.83. In fourth, Hyatt of Albright, 5:06.72. Fifth, Tagula, 5:13.10. And as you saw the rest there, Wright in sixth and Martin in seventh, 5:14.78 and 5:22.43. So now we're underway for the men's 400-yard IM. Only 3 swimmers here in heat 1 of 4. The record for this event was set last year by Travis Dalton, or TJ Dalton. Dalton set it right here in the MAC Championships, 4:06.16. However, he set the MAC record this year with a 4:04.27, which is obviously his qualifying time. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can come out today and set another record for the MAC Championship. Dalton, again, the defending champion of this event. But in lane 3, you have Daniel Moses, a sophomore of Lycoming. In lane 4, you have Josh Simmons, a senior of Messiah. And in lane 5, you have Connor Pulaski, a sophomore of Widener. Simmons, 5:04.83 was the fastest time here in this heat, but it's the second fastest time. Pulaski out to the lead of Widener here in this early portion as they head into the backstroke. So they continue to go through the backstroke pretty solidly. It's still neck and neck for the lead between Simmons and Pulaski. Pulaski out in front over Simmons, but Simmons trying to make up some ground. Then you have to go about maybe 10 yards or such back to Daniel Moses. It's now neck and neck for the lead. And this time now prevailing to it will be Josh Simmons. Simmons has about a 2 or 3 yard lead now over Pulaski. They head through the backstroke, but just because Simmons is stronger in the backstroke does not mean that he's necessarily the fastest in the final 2 portions. We've seen that the fastest in the backstroke has gotten ran down here in the women's heats towards the final 2 portions, and right now, let's see how it goes. They will take the deep dive down to the 3rd line in the pool. They'll come up. And let's see how much ground can be made from Connor Pulaski. Simmons, the most experienced in this event. He's a senior, as mentioned. Pulaski is a sophomore, and Daniel Moses as well, a sophomore in this preliminary. I'll tell you, the lead is expanding right now for Simmons. He'll have 50 more yards to go before they head to the freestyle portion. But Simmons' lead is expanding drastically. Simmons is right now on track to cracking that high 450 mark. But right now he's beating that 5:04.83, I'd say relatively with ease. Pretty solid separation. It's neck and neck for second now between Pulaski and Moses. Looks like Moses barely behind Pulaski. And now they'll go for the 100 yards of freestyle for Simmons. Moses now to second. Pulaski just trailing right behind. Simmons touches the end. He'll have 75 more yards to go. Simmons has about half a pool lead. So he's pulling far ahead, now coming into his final 50 yards. We'll go back around, take the dive through to about the second line, but he is pulling away. The lead now extending to about 3/4 of the pool. Well, he slowed down a little bit, some momentum's built. He'll flip back around. It's still neck and neck for second. The lead is now about maybe a half a pool or less, but at the end of it all, Josh Simmons of Messiah, the senior, will take Heat 1's victory. In second will be Connor Pulaski, the sophomore of Widener, and in third will be Daniel Moses, the sophomore of Lycoming. The final times, 4:46:03. So forget about the 5:04 on the high 4-minute 50s. He got within that 4:50 mark. 4:51:73 for Pulaski and 4:53:95 for Moses. So now as we get ready for Heat 2, again, 4 heats here in this preliminary. You'll have Eli McCabe, a junior of Messiah, in lane 1. You'll have Kennedy, a freshman of Messiah, in lane 2. So get quiet here. We're underway. In lane 3, you'll have Libator, a junior of Widener. You have Mascandero, a junior of Widener. He has the fastest time in this preliminary, 4:23:05. Jason Winters, a freshman of Misericordia, 4:26:55 in lane 5. Austin Lauer in lane 6, junior of Arcadia, 4:34:76. They complete the first 50 yards. And Tyler Higgins in lane 7, the sophomore at Kings, 4:44:05 is his time to beat. But right now, it's all neck and neck as they come on through. They'll head to the backstroke. And in the early lead, it looks to be Mascandero. Mascandero has about maybe a 3 or 4 yard lead. I think it's about 2 or 3 seconds ideally. And he's actually expanding it here. It's still neck and neck for second between 5 swimmers, lanes 2 and 3, as well as lanes 5 through 7. Lanes 1 through 7 are being utilized heavily. And Mascandero is pulling away. Now the battle for second continues to intensify between Higgins as well as Kennedy. Mascandero of Widener just continuing, though, to pull away. Higgins does take over second for the moment throughout the rest of the backstroke. He'll touch, and they'll have about 75 yards to go left in the third portion before they head to the final portion of the freestyle. But Mascandero is setting a pretty solid time. Again, 4:23:05 was his fastest. Again, all the splits are basically set and split around between the times. Mascandero would easily set himself within that Heat 4 with the time he's putting up here. Newcomer now in the second. And that is in lane 3. That's actually his teammate, Libator, as well a junior of Widener. He has a 4:27.61 as his preliminary. And the way it's looking right now, both of these guys well on track to not only grabbing the top time, but they look like they're well on their way right now to beating their preliminaries by about 2 to 3 seconds. But Mascandero, he's getting caught down from Liberator. They head to the freestyle. It's about neck and neck for the lead. It was at one point about a 10 to 12 yard lead for Mascandero. And right now he still holds it by about 3 or 4 yards through the freestyle. But he's going to have Liberator, his own teammate, challenging him. 50 yards to go. And through the freestyle portion, I'll say Mascandero pulling away just a little bit more. Now it's separated about by a full body length between the two. Mascandero for the final time touches, and now he will race for the end. And it looks like he will win Heat 2 here. And we'll watch for that time. He indeed will. His teammate, Liberator of Widener as well, will come in second. In third will be Laurer, the junior of Arcadia. And they continue with the rest. Looks like Higgins will come in fourth. In fifth will be Kennedy, and sixth, Winters. And we'll look back at the clock here. 4:22.57 for Mascandero. So indeed, he beats his time by a full second. As for his teammate Liberator, well, 4:25.22, that is good enough to beat his time by a full 2 seconds. And that is really also the borderline as well between what would be the A feature tonight and the B feature. And right now those are the top 2 times to beat as we head into Heat 3. So why don't we take a look here in Heat 3 in your lineup. We'll have 7 men in the pool here for this heat. Jack Shoplock, the junior of Arcadia, as we'll get quiet again. We're underway. Corey Hausler, sophomore of Albright, 4:39.43 was his qualification time. Connor Feinauer, sophomore of Widener, 4:27.60. You have Bondurant, the fastest here in this heat, 4:19.57 of Arcadia. He's a junior. Daniel Parker, a freshman of Widener, 4:25.17. He's in lane 5. Jack Cashin, freshman of Arcadia, 4:32.43. And you have Adam Throne, the junior of Albright, 4:42.37 in lane 7. But right now, in the early portions, it looks to be Parker, the freshman of Widener, in the lead. Parker has about maybe a 3 to 4 yard lead. It's actually separated by about 2 to 3 seconds. In second right now, it looks to be Hausler. Bondurant, though, this is his slowest portion, the backstroke. He's going to make it all in the next 2 portions. He right now sits just outside a second as it's neck and neck for that position. You have Feinauer, who is in second, but it's those lanes 2 through 5 really to look at in the speed differential because they're not all that far away from each other. So we'll head through the final portion here of the backstroke. It is still neck and neck for second. The lead at the stripe will still be Parker. Bondurant and Feinauer, they continue to battle for second. But now they're starting to make ground on the lead, and rightfully so. And this is the fastest portion for Bondurant. The same thing as well for Fine Hour. We'll have 75 yards to go before they head to the freestyle to decide it. Looks like Bondurant has gotten closer, as well as lane 2, Corey Hausler. Hausler was about 4 to 5 yards back, but is now taken over third as they touch the wall and come back around. So they're within the final 50 before they head to the freestyle. But right now, the lead for Daniel Parker looks to be a very solid one, and he as well on his pace to beating his fastest time. Parker, it's about a 13-yard lead or so. Now in second is Hausler, the sophomore of Albright. And let's see here in these final 100 yards if they can try to run down Daniel Parker. The freshman, he's 1 of 2 here in this heat. You had Jack Cashin, a freshman of Arcadia, in lane 6. But the freshman showing the way right now, trying to make his first ever MAC championship final in the 400-yard IM. Flip back around, and he looks to not only command the lead, but he looks to dominate it. This is a pretty solid pace, and he will win it. So Parker wins. In second will be Fine Hour. Third will be Hausler. Fourth will be Bondurant. Looks like fifth is going to be thrown. Sixth, Cashin. They have one more in lane 1 they're waiting to finish, and that one would be Shoplock. But as we look at the times, Parker of Widener, 4:15.92. That is good enough, or if 4:15.92 is good enough to take the top spot. In second, you have Fine Hour of Widener, 4:20.47. Hausler in third, 4:22.98. Bondurant of Arcadia, 4:27.04. Thrawn of Albright, 4:32.74. In sixth, Cashin, 4:35.73. Shoplock, 4:52.58. For Shoplock, that's actually 3 seconds slower than his qualification time. Unfortunately, the only one to not match or better their time here in this heat. So we head to the final heat here of the men's 400-yard IM. And here is your line. In lane 1, you have Dan McCarter, Jr. of Albright, 4:47.31. Joe Padish, as they get set. And they're underway here in Heat 4, the preliminaries. Joe Padish, a freshman of Albright, 4:36.64. You'll have Mackie Wood, who had a great performance yesterday, the senior of Albright, or I apologize, Padish of Arcadia, Mackie Wood of Albright, 4:27.25. TJ Dalton, again the defending champion of this event, back in 2018. Dalton, Jr. of Arcadia, 4:04.27. You'll have Hassard, a senior of Albright, 4:24.62. Sam Smith, a senior of Widener, 4:30.08. You have Justin Alloway, freshman of Arcadia, 4:41.65. And you have Pathamore, a freshman of Widener, 4:53.82. Again, that's all lanes 1 through 8. As they'll start the backstroke Out to the early lead is Mackie Wood. Dalton challenging right next to him. These were two very impressive swimmers yesterday in the 200-yard IM. Dalton earning his first 200-yard IM. And Dalton prevailing to the lead here on the backstroke. Dalton has the lead. Mackie Wood right there, and it seems like those two are very well spread apart between the battle for third with Pettish and Hassard. And when we talk about Dalton as well, who continues to own the lead, Dalton of Arcadia, again a junior, he won the 400 IM last year, defending champion. He also won the 200-yard breast last year. Yesterday winning the 200-yard IM, which he now tries to potentially today earn his fourth individual championship in his junior campaign. Dalton still with the lead. It continues to expand. Dalton was the fastest time, 4:04.27. He was the only swimmer, in fact, within that 4-minute and 10-second mark. We also have to point out that, again, Dalton, he owns the MAC record time-wise. In time, he set that earlier this year in the 4:04.27. He also owns the championship record for last year of the 4:06.16. So Dalton looking to set the tempo, and I'll tell you, he is far, far ahead of everyone else. Dalton has about a half a pool's length of a lead, about 13 yards or so as he heads to the freestyle here, and he is just absolutely pulling away. The distance is about now 20 yards or so over second place, and that in second being Mackie Wood, who's a very impressive swimmer of his own. In third is Hassard. I'm going to tell you, Dalton is just pulling away, and he actually, for the first time today, could be potentially looking as well to lap another swimmer. Dalton is just flying as he continues to expand. He'll have 25 more yards to go, but the distance is now expanded to about 24 yards. Dalton touches. He will come back around, and he'll complete his final lap here, the 400-yard IM, with a victory. So Dalton, and we got to check that time because that was a fast time, 4:05.42. That would beat the championship record with ease. Well, actually, now they just changed it. It was a 4:05.42. They just changed it now to a 4:08.41. So we get the rest. Mackie Wood in second, 4:16.27. That beats his by a full 11 seconds. That's good enough for second overall. Hassard, 4:19.16. So get the rest of the lineup. Smith comes in fourth. We'll have Peterson in fifth. Pathmore in sixth. McCarter in seventh. And eighth will go to Alloway. Alloway 4:33.34. So now the next event here will be the women's 100-yard butterfly here for the preliminaries. In Heat 1, you will have 7 swimmers. Zoe Feiger, a freshman of Stevenson. Jenna Frenick, a freshman with a 1:11.72. Jess Ravert, a freshman of Misericordia, 1:10.65. And by the way, Frenick of Lebanon Valley. Mentioned Ravert of Misericordia. Morgera, a sophomore of Albright. Morris, Alexis Morris, a sophomore of Lebanon Valley, 1:10.46. She's the second fastest time here in this heat. They've already completed the first 50. They'll have 50 more yards to go on the butterfly. Alexis Morris in lane 5, Gianna Rito in lane 6, and Armetta in lane 7, the freshman of Misericordia. So 25 more yards to go. That's all that's needed. But right now, it is an early and dominant victory for Magera. So Magera comes away with the victory. In second, I believe it's going to be Ravert, as they do indeed give us the finishing results here. So as mentioned, Magera with the victory, Ravert second, Magera 106.26. That's 4 seconds faster than her previous. Frenick in third, Armetta fourth, Morris fifth, Rita sixth, and Feiger in seventh. So we head now for Heat 2. Magera has the time to beat the 107. In lane 1, Sarah Wolf of Lebanon Valley. Lane 2, Riley Sella, junior of Arcadia. You'll have Jacqueline Hamill, the senior of Widener, in lane 3. You'll have Weatherby, the junior of Misericordia, lane 4. Kaylee Gardner, the sophomore Kings, lane 5. Erica Shell in lane 6. Alyssa Gisek in lane 7. She's of Kings, a sophomore. And you have Kayla Saido, a freshman of Lebanon Valley, in lane 8. In lane 3 prevailing right now, that is Hamill. Hamill has 2 swimmers right by Weatherby, who ran the fastest preliminary of 1 minute 89, as well as Gardner. Gardner now out to the lead. Gardner, this is going to get interesting to the end. Who's going to come down with it? Oh, this is as close as it gets. It's going to go to Hamill, just barely. 1 minute and 4 tenths and 7/100ths of a second. 1 minute and 8 tenths and 4/100ths of a second for Gardner. Third will be Weatherby. Fourth, Gisek. Fifth will be Wolf. Actually, rather, sixth Wolf, fifth Shell, seventh Sella, and eighth Seidel. So this is now going to go to Heat 3 of 4. You'll have 8 women in the pool again. Ellen Pecunis in lane 1. She's of Lycoming, a junior. You have Scaramuzio in lane 2 of Widener. Carlson in lane 3 of Misericordia. Casey Cotton, the 2-time defending champion of this event. She's in lane 4, is the senior of Messiah. McKay in lane 5, the sophomore of Arcadia. Clemente, the senior of Messiah, in lane 6. Shattuck in lane 7 as they come to complete the first 50 yards in lane 7. And you have Smith, a freshman of Kings, in lane 8. By the way, Shattuck of Albright. But the early lead is clear as day. Casey Cotton is doing what she does best here in the 100-yard butterfly. Cotton, she has about maybe a 5 or 6 yard lead over second place McKay. Cotton, the only one in this bracket to go under a minute in the preliminaries. She has the second fastest preliminary time overall. Cotton, no, actually, Carlson got it. Cotton in second. So we get the finishing results. That doesn't look right. Carlson did not complete it with 45 seconds. It should be Cotton who has the victory. McKay should have came in second. Again, those results look a little bit inaccurate, and we'll see if they get that fixed. But I believe Cotton should be the victor, 57-83 for Cotton. That's actually, they are working to fix the board and the finishing results as of the moment. Cotton should be your winner, though, with that time that ends up passing her preliminary by a second and a half. Carlson, her previous best was a 102.45, and they do announce the scoreboard error. Heat 4 will be the final heat here. Emily Wolf, a freshman of Stevenson, in lane 1. Lauren Pham, a senior of Kings, lane 2. Izzy Ramsland, a senior of Stevenson, in lane 3. Ramsland had an excellent day in the pool yesterday for Stevenson. Bujanowski of Widener in lane 4. She's a junior. She has the fastest time here of the preliminaries coming into today's preliminaries. Bernauer, a freshman at Mezzocordia, 101.02. Caroline Stang, junior of Widener, 103.78. Christie, junior of Arcadia, as they complete the first 50, 106 flat. And Ali Aspie, a senior of Wilkes, 109.41. And the early lead again as of the moment is Bujanowski. She's trying to beat the time of Casey Cotton. The junior of Widener looking for her first 100-yard butterfly victory tonight. And right now she has that early lead. In second is Izzy Ramsland, the senior of Stevenson. This is her last MAC championship appearance. As we head and look now to the final results. Again, Bujanowski with the victory. Her time 57.64. So she actually is slower than her pre-qualifying time. In second, as mentioned, Ramsden 59.29. In third, Bernauer 1 minute and 8/10 of a second. In fourth, Pham, 103.56. Fifth is Aspie. Sixth will go to Stang. Seventh, Christie. Eighth, Wolf. And now we head to the men's preliminaries. They have them set. We're underway now for the men's preliminaries. In lane 2, James Butcher, freshman of FDU Florham. In lane 3, you have Hindemeyer, a junior of Widener. You have Caleb Beard in lane 4, the sophomore of Lycoming. Blaze Finn in lane 5. He is a junior of Lycoming. And Cameron King, the sophomore of Hood, in lane 6. And right now, it looks to be Beard who is dominating here in this early portion. He's the only one of these 4 swimmers that are within the 1 minute mark in qualification time throughout the season. His best time on the year was a 58.72, and he looks to try to beat that right now as he's setting a pretty good tempo. The fastest time set by the defending champion Bryce Schaefer, 51.23, as that comes to an end. Let's see what that final time is here. Beard with the win. It'll be Finn in second. Final time for Beard, 56.66, so that does indeed beat it by a full 2 seconds. Finn, 59.25. The rest of them will be over a minute. In third will be Hindemeyer. Fourth will be King, and fifth will be Butcher. So now we head for Heat 2. Heat swimmers will go back into the pool, and here is your lineup. In lane 1, James Martin, sophomore Kings. Anthony Pompel, senior of Messiah, in lane 2. In lane 3, you have Schlebov, a freshman of Mezzocordia. Logan Pfluger, a sophomore in Mezzocordia, in lane 4. Justin Berta, a sophomore of Wilkes, in lane 5. Montevidas, a freshman of Kings, in lane 6. Joel Williams, a freshman of Kings, in lane 7. And Chris Boucher, a junior of Kings, in lane 8. So Kings owning lanes 6 through 8. But again, lane 4 seems like in this 100-yard butterfly it continues to be lane 4 that dominates. And again, they're the fastest time in each preliminary. Barely ahead is Flugel over Berta. It's going to come down to the end. Berta may be just ahead. Let's see. At the line, it's going to be Berta over Flugel. Berta 52.66, 52.78 for Flugel. The rest of the lineup, Montevitas in third. You'll have Shevlov in fourth, Pompey in fifth, in sixth Martin, 7 Williams, and 8th Boucher. So that obviously will be the new fastest time set by Justin Berta. Heat 3. Let's get on the board. Matthew Ball, senior Hood in lane 1. Sean Parrott, a freshman at Kings, in lane 2. So we wait. Oh, now they'll have him come back up. Anthony Spanier in lane 3, a junior of Albright. Andre Giovanni, senior of Arcadia, in lane 4. In lane 5, as we're underway, Malik Williams, a junior of Albright, in lane 5. 53.99, second fastest time. Bill Rogers, lane 6, senior of Arcadia. Shane Miller, a freshman of Wilkes, in lane 7, and Hunter Page, a junior of Albright, in lane 8. And this is as neck and neck as it gets. It looks to be at the line for the moment, Williams. But now pulling out to the lead looks to be Spanier. This one's going to be the closest heat of them all, it seems. All 8 swimmers are neck and neck, and there is no decided victor. Now it looks to be a lead for Giovanni. Andre Giovanni will win. In second will be Berta, or rather Williams. So Giovanni gets the victory. I think he just missed the fastest time, barely. 52.48, I believe it was 46, that was the fastest. Williams, again, as mentioned, in second. In third will be Spanier. Fourth, Page. Fifth, Ball. Sixth will be Rogers. Seventh, Miller. And eighth will go to Parrots. So this is now your Heat 4, your final heat here of the 100-yard butterfly. And here is your lineup. In lane 1, John Foley of Hood, a freshman. They have him set. And we're underway. Nick Martino, a sophomore, Wilkes, in lane 2. Chris Fleming, a junior of Widener, in lane 3. Bryce Schaefer, a sophomore of Albright, in lane 4. Tristan Hyatt, a junior of Arcadia, lane 5. Chris Dione, a junior of Kings, in lane 6. Steph Kratzer, a junior of Stevenson, in lane 7. And you'll have Thompson, a junior of Albright, in lane 8. And I mean, right now it is a dominant lead here in the butterfly for the defending champion, Bryce Schaefer. Schaefer has about a 5-yard lead, 51-23. The record is set by him last year in this tournament, or in this championship, 49.87. Schaefer is going to dominate and set a heck of a time. Coming in second will be Hyatt. Schaefer, 49.74. That actually should set it. That is now the MAC championship record and MAC record. Bryce Schaefer beating his own record set. Hyatt in second, Dione in third. Fourth will be Kratzer. Fifth, Flemings. Sixth, Foley. Seventh, Thompson. And eighth, Martino. So we also emphasize as well how good those heats were. Next event will be the women's 200-yard freestyle, along with the men's 200-yard freestyle following after. If you missed last night, If you missed last night, let's update you on the women's standings coming into today as they get set for the 200-yard freestyle. By the way, Faith Guzzo in lane 3 as they're underway. Juna Curry in lane 4, Nicole Floor in lane 5. Messiah has 253 points. They lead. Widener's in second in the MAC championship standings for women's with 165 points. Arcadia third, 156. Stevenson, who has 2 victories, is in fourth with 129. Mesaccordia fifth, 123. Kings in sixth with 117. Lycoming in 7th, 100.5. Albright in 8th with 82. Wilkes in 9th with 56. Hood in 10th, 54.5. And then FDU is in 11th with 48 and Lebanon Valley with 41. It's a 3-woman race right now for the lead. They're all neck and neck. But in lane 3, the leader right now is, as of the moment, Gingrich. Actually, I apologize. Rather, Guzzo in the lead. Guzzo, a junior of Albright, as mentioned before. 2:20.38 was her time to beat here in this women's 200-yard freestyle. Juna Curry, a junior of Lebanon Valley, 2:16.73 was the fastest time. She right now sits in second. And third, Nicole Floor, a sophomore of Lebanon Valley, 2:17 flat was her time on the season. And right now, Guzzo continuing to lead and look solid. Flip back around. About a 5, maybe 3-yard lead over Curry. Curry, though, has made up a little bit of ground, and you have to go far back to Floor, about maybe 6 or 7 yards. And winning it will be there at the end, Guzzo. Curry comes in second and Floor in third. 2:12.62 is the time to beat going into Heat 2. 2:13.51 for Curry. For Floor, 2:17.77. So we head to now the second preliminary. We'll have all 8 women in the pool for the rest of these preliminaries. Steph Tabaka, freshman of Kings, in lane 1. Ellie Latchford in lane 2, sophomore Widener. Maddie Werndl, freshman of Albright, in lane 3. Alyssa Gisick, sophomore Kings, lane 4. Kaylee Kerensky, junior of Kings, lane 5. We'll have Waldo in lane 6, the senior of Lycoming. You have Ternitza, a freshman of Wilkes, in lane 7, and you'll have Mandy Smith, a sophomore of Hood, in lane 8. So they come to complete the first 50 yards. It looks like Ternitza has the early lead, but she's being challenged right now by Werndl. Maddie Werndl, a freshman. Ternitza as well, a freshman of Wilkes. Werndl looks to be in the lead now as Ternitza is falling back a little bit. Gisick as well, neck and neck in lanes 3 and 4. Again, Werndl with the lead. Interested to see how this is going to come down to the end. No one's out of it here in this 200-yard freestyle. We'll flip back around again, but the lead stays as of the moment for Maddie Werndl, the freshman of Albright, looking pretty bright right here in this Heat 2. Freshman will flip around again. And we'll charge. I'll tell you, it's getting a lot closer there. Gisick, the sophomore Kings, is looking to challenge, and in lane 7, it actually looks like Ternitza has the lead back. Well, this is going to be interesting. It's a 3-woman race. Ternitza back to the lead indeed. And we're down to the final 25 yards. when they flip back around. Ternitza, she's looking like she's pulled away just a tiny bit out in front. It's going to come down to the 3. Ternitza with the lead. Ternitza will win it. In second will end up being Gisik Wandel in third. And look at the rest. Ternitza of Wilkes, 2:07.11. That's now the brand new time to beat. She gets a victory here in Heat 2. So you look at your final results. Waldo comes in 4th. Kerensky in 5th. Blatchford in 6th. 7th Smith, and 8th goes to Tabaka. So here is now Heat 3 of 5. Emily Decker, the freshman of Messiah, in lane 1. You'll have Redding, a freshman of Kings, in lane 2 as we are underway. Franceschini, a freshman of Widener, in lane 3. Molly Miller, the sophomore of FDU Forum, in lane 4. We saw an opening day of a pretty solid performance. In lane 5, you have Kara Zortman, sophomore of Lycoming. We have Claire Hamilton, the freshman of Arcadia, in lane 6. Kaylee Allen, a senior of Arcadia, in lane 7. And you have Patterson, a junior of Arcadia, in lane 8. So complete the first 50 right now. The lead for Franceschini, just over Molly Miller. Miller, a pretty good freestyle swimmer. She takes the lead. Coming towards the next turnaround point. But Miller is setting a pretty good pace here, as we are just over a minute in and about halfway. Miller still barely holding that lead. Right now it's a 2-woman race between her and Franceschini, the freshman of Widener. These are 2 young swimmers, very talented, and look to set very solid preliminary times here in Heat 3. Miller stretching it out. It's about a 3-yard difference between Miller and Franceschini. Third place as well right now is Zortman, but Zortman is running out of time to at least catch up. She's getting closer to Franceschini in second, but getting farther away, it seems like, from Miller. Franceschini didn't lose any ground, but she'll come in second. Miller with the win. Third, as mentioned, will go to Zortman. Miller, a 1:57.16. That's 4 seconds off the women's record set by Katie Wingert. Wingert also has the MAC record that she set last year, 1:53.13. See Wingert not in this event this year after graduating. But that is a heck of a time set by Miller. Very solid freestyle swimmer. And we'll head to preliminary number 4. Danielle Shedd will be in lane 1. Danielle Shedd, a freshman of Arcadia. Desposito, a senior of Arcadia, in lane 2. Augustine, a senior of Widener, in lane 3. Ziegler will be in lane 4. She's a freshman of Messiah. Ziegler swam excellent yesterday. And Kolsky, same thing as well. She swam great, freshman of Misericordia. You'll have Murphy, a junior of Albright, in lane 6. Hamill in lane 7. She's a senior out of Widener. And Williams, a senior of Wilkes, in lane 8. Right now, it looks like the lead is with Murphy of Albright. But it's really a 3-women's race, all about dead even. Touching the wall first, to me, looked like Augustine. Indeed, Augustine did have it there, and now she pulls away just barely with the lead over Ziegler. Ziegler had the second fastest overall preliminary time, 1:59.40, but she's here in Heat 4. Megan Hupp, the favorite to win this 200-yard freestyle. She has the fastest overall, 1:58.28. She'll be in the next heat. But right now, Ziegler, who's the second fastest, is trailing to Augustine, the senior of Widener. And Widener, they're second overall in the women's standings, but now the lead goes to Ziegler of Messiah. Ziegler takes the lead and will win it there at the end. She'll get it over Augustine. In third will be Murphy. Fourth will go to Nikolsky. Fifth, Hamill. Sixth will be Desposito. Seventh, Shed. And eighth, Williams. And obviously, Ziegler setting the new fastest time, 1:56.86. Augustine, I believe, now second fastest, 1:57.55. Ziegler, she beat her best qualification time by 3 seconds. So this will now be the final heat here for the women's 200-yard freestyle. So set and we're underway. Hannah Schrock in lane 1, the senior of Albright. Claire Coe, the freshman of Kings, in lane 2. We have Babarski, the junior of Arcadia, in lane 3. Megan Hupp, the junior of Arcadia, in lane 4. Brittany Pond, the senior of Messiah, in lane 5. Haley Giannani, the freshman of Mezzocordia, in lane 6. Maggie Yount, as they complete the first 50, the sophomore of Mezzocordia, in lane 7. And Veronica Bennett, the junior of Mezzocordia, in lane 8. Hupp trailing right now to Brittany Pond. Pond had a 2-minute and 2/10 of a second lap. That was her fastest. Megan Hupp, 1:58.28, which is the time to beat, but right now she sits in second as Pond pulls away with the lead. It's really a 3-swimmer race between Hupp, Pond, as well as Claire Coe. Coe, again, a freshman out of Kings, trying to make her first ever MAC final. It looks like Hupp has taken the lead coming back around the center portion of the pool. Let's see. The flip around for 50 more yards, and Hupp does have it just barely over Brittany Pond. So it's the second time when they've gotten to the 150-yard mark, we've had a lead change down the past 2 heats. And Megan Hupp looks to put this one away as she's pulling away from Brittany Pond. Hupp is essentially all uncontested. There is no one near her. Again, as now Hupp will touch and win. Pond will come in second. Again, Hupp, the 2-time 50-free champion, as well as the 2-time 1650 free champion. So Hupp, 1:58.13. That's not going to be the fastest time. Pond in second, 2 minutes and 2/10 of a second. Cohen third, Babarski fourth. Fifth will be, well, actually we have a tie for fourth. Yount as well for fourth. Sixth will be Giannani, and seventh Schruck, and eighth Venet. So now the men's heat 1 here for their 200-yard freestyle. In lane 3, Andre Johnson, the sophomore at Kings. Lane 4, Brian Lockhart, the senior of Arcadia, and Brian Brown, the sophomore of Stevenson in lane 5. Right now, Brown out to the lead. Most experienced here in the fastest time here in this preliminary by about 0.2 of a second over the slowest. Andre Johnson is the senior Lockhart of Arcadia. These are all three pretty even swimmers and season times, so it should be a very interesting heat. But Brian Brown, who was 7/100ths off the fastest time here of Heat 1, is out to an early lead with Andre Johnson in second. Johnson is sophomore as well as Brown. Lockhart sits in third right now, is the senior. I'll tell you what, that lead is expanding for Brown of Stevenson, continuing to show the way. He'll come around for 50 more yards, but it doesn't look like he's going to be caught. Lockhart now moves up to second. Johnson falls back to third. 25 more yards to go for Brown. Brian Brown of Stevenson looking to put up the fastest time here in Heat 1. Brown will win it. Second will be Lockhart. Third will be Johnson. Brown a 1:56.41. That's mighty 7 seconds faster than his preliminary. Lockhart second, 1:57.72. Johnson third, 2 minutes and 8 hundredths of a second. Those are all faster than their best qualification times throughout the year. So, again, you know, this 25-yard pull in each distance and being able to push off obviously really helps compared to a full 50. But now as we head to Heat 2 of the preliminaries here for 200-yard freestyle, we are underway. Hilliard, junior of Albright, lane 1. Souter, a senior of Kings, lane 2. Eric Bang, a sophomore of FDU Forum, in lane 3. Daniel Logan, a sophomore, Messiah, lane 4. T. Culver, junior of Albright, lane 5. DJ Wheeland, a sophomore of Misericordia, lane 6, is to complete the first 50. Brand Vaught, the sophomore of Lycoming, in lane 7. And Dan Mack, a sophomore of Wilkes, in lane 8. So Wheeland do a time trial yesterday. And right now, Culver out to the lead. Just barely over Daniel Logan. Wheeland battling for third, but right now that's owned by Souter and Bang, who's also right there. Have to go a far distance back to Vaught and Mack. Let's see, at the line, they'll have 50 more yards to go. It's a two-man race for the win. It's going to be between Culver and Logan. Logan making up some distance, but we're going to have to see here when it comes down to the end. I think Logan is just taking the lead as they touch. This is going to be interesting. It looks like Culver's just ahead of Logan. Logan, though, pedaling. He's closing in a little bit. This is going to come down to the last touch. Culver got it at the end over Logan. And you want to talk about a close finish. That's a pretty close finish there between the two. It's within 0.2 of a second. As we look at the times and the finishing order here of Heat 2. Culver get first, 1:43.79. Logan 1:43.79 or 99. That's again 0.2 slower. Bang lane through finishes third. Souter fourth. As you saw the rest there, we head now to a very quick starting Heat 3. So Zach Holmes, sophomore of Arcadia, 156.89. AJ Cali, a senior of Arcadia, 151.61. Tyler Wilkinson, freshman of Messiah, 147.18. Mellison, a senior of Arcadia, 143.86. It's the time to beat here in this heat. Late, a sophomore of Albright, 146.90. So they complete the first 50. Huntsberger, a sophomore of Albright, 148.98. Kafagi, a freshman of Wilkes, 155.38. And Anderson, a freshman of Hood, 202.78. They look to complete the first 100 yards. And right now, in the lead is Huntsberger. Now Huntsberger actually losing it. It's going to go to Wilkinson, the freshman of Messiah. It's going to be interesting here to the end. The two-man race. Huntsberger back to the lead, just barely. And we'll see the flip around 50 more yards, and the lead again exchanges back and forth. Huntsberger at it, but now it goes back to Wilkinson. So here we go for the final time. Wilkinson, Huntsberger battling for the lead. At the line, it's going to be Wilkinson who takes the win. In second will be Mellison. Third, Huntsberger. Fourth, Late. Fifth, Cawley. Sixth will end up going to Kafagi. Seventh, Holmes. And eighth, Anderson. Wilkinson 143.96. Mellison 144.92. So now this sets us for the final heat here of the men's 200-yard freestyle. The 2017 champion in this event, looking to win his second time, is Bowden. As here is your lineup. Weatherby, junior of Wilkes, 156.10. Sansone, a freshman of Albright, 150.56. Jarrett Byrne, a sophomore of Wilkes, 147.10. So they get set. Bodon, a junior of Widener, 142.34. Timmy Dando, a sophomore of Widener, 146.33. Joey Antelock, a freshman of Wilkes, 148.79. Max Riddell, a senior of Hood, 154.84. And Musciati, a freshman of FDU, 201.36. So they complete the first 50 yards. And it's an early lead for one of the former champions, Bowden. Bowden and a junior of Widener. Timmy Dando, who's a pretty impressive swimmer, the sophomore, right now battling for second. He owns it just for the moment, but there's about 4 swimmers with him. He has Antelock and Rydell all right there. But Bowden is just pulling away. No one was within his time other than Mellison, who had a 143.86 in his qualification time this year. Bowden's just on another planet, it seems, as he will come around with a pretty big lead, and they'll flip around for 50 more yards. Bowden, the lead is about 10 yards in the differential between his teammate Timmy Dando. Bowden just has 13 yards to go. He will push, and he will win Heat 4 and more than likely set the fastest time. Timmy Dando will come in second as the rest race to the ending. Bowden easily set the fastest time, 141.02. As a matter of fact, that should be a new men's 200-yard freestyle record that was last set last year by Drew Wolf, who won this event. Bowden 140-102, that sets the championship record and the MAC record. As you look at the final results, Dando in second, 145-48. That's good enough to put him in the finals for sure. Sansone, 146-13 of Albright. In fourth, Byrne, 146-20. In fifth, Rydell, 147-43. Sixth, actually we have a tie for fifth. Oh no, I apologize. Interlock in sixth. Seventh will end up going to Weatherby, and eighth, Musciati. Ask for quiet. So now the women's 100-yard breaststroke here. This is event 19 overall. We'll have 6 swimmers in the pool. Jess Ravert in lane 1, the freshman of Misericordia. Julia Ronstrom, junior of Wilkes, lane 2. Kyle Smeltzer in lane 4. He is as well of Wilkes. Sam Coates, freshman of Kings, in lane 5. You'll have Kemmelden, a junior of Messiah, in lane 6, and Kate Bedison, a junior of Albright, in lane 7. So as they complete the first 50 yards, they'll have 50 more to go here on the breaststroke. $25 more yards now. And right now the lead is as present as day for one swimmer, and that's Kylie Smeltzer. Smeltzer looks like she's going to win and will. In third will be Rostron. Both of these women coming out of Wilkes. So they finish 1 and 2 as you look at the leaderboard. So Smeltzer with the victory. Second, Rostron. Third, Shemlin. Fourth will go to Coate. Fifth will go to Bedson, and Ravert will get 6th. And we're underway for Heat 2. In lane 1, Jessica Zamora, junior of Albright. Emily Bove, a sophomore of Kings, in lane 2. We have Alderman, a freshman of Arcadia, in lane 3. Kramer, a senior of Lycoming, lane 4. Byers, a senior of Arcadia, lane 5. Preste, a freshman, in lane 6 of Misericordia. Kaiser in lane 7, a freshman of Lycoming. Bogert, a freshman of Kings, in lane 8. And right now the leader is in lane 4 out of Emily Kramer. Kramer is senior. Her final ever MAC championships here in 2019. She also has Taylor Byers, who is right now looking to be in the lead, and is. Byers in the lead. She leads over Preste and Kramer, and Byers, when she gets to the end, will win it. So Byers, 108.63, that's the new fastest time. Kramer in second. Third will be Alderman. Fourth will go to Preste. As now you get a look here on the leaderboard on the screen. Bove will get 5th. 6th will go to Kaiser. 7th Zamora, and 8th Bogert. So now we head to Heat 3 of 4, and this is who is in the pool. Meg Steger, a sophomore of Messiah, in lane 1. Julie Hyatt, a sophomore of Albright, in lane 2. Lucia McCabe, a sophomore of Messiah, in lane 3. Mikulski, the 2-time champion this event, in lane 4. She's the second fastest time. Danielle Pong, the sophomore of Hood, in lane 5. Sanborn, the junior of Hood, in lane 6. Strennan, a junior of Kings, in lane 7. And Rachel Nye, the sophomore of Albright, in lane 8. And Nikolsky is being challenged right now by Danielle Pong. Nikolsky just barely out in front here in the breaststroke, but she'll have 25 yards to go, try to take the victory. Right now, though, she trails. The two-time champion is behind Danielle Pong with less than 10 yards to go. Pong will win, Nikolsky second. Big win for Pong. That's the new fastest, 106.05. I wonder, Nikolsky's on the board. I wonder if she got disqualified. Not putting her time on the board. That would be something for the two-time champion. Hyatt instead will get second, 110.69. McCabe will come in third. Sanborn fourth, Strennan fifth, Steger sixth, Nye in seventh. But again, we'll find out what the deal is with Nikolsky. Either they didn't score her and she was disqualified, or the score didn't go off. She would have finished second regardless. So now we head to the final heat, as you see, of the prelims. Detweiler in lane 1, McKay Wright in lane 2, Grogan lane 3, Sell lane 4, she's the fastest time overall, Jules Burnett lane 5, Rachel Bruns lane 6, Betsock in lane 7, and Melina Good in lane 8. And right now, it's Burnett over Sell, just barely here in the breaststroke. Sell trying to come back. Sell 106.23. Burnett 109.07 is the best time for her this year. And she right now has the lead. Burnett barely over the fastest Allie Sell. And Burnett will win it. So Burnett, that now most certainly has to be the new fastest time. Oh, maybe not. 106.92. Sell will come in second, 111.04. That has to be a little bit inaccurate because Sell was right there. Betsock will come in fifth. Third is Bruns. Fourth is Grogan. Sixth will go to Detweiler. Seventh, Wright. And eighth, Good. So that'll do it for the women's 100-yard breaststroke. We will now have the men's. The men's will be 4 heats. Here in Heat 1, you have Dan McCausey, a freshman of Wilkes. Connor Brott, a freshman of Wilkes. In lane 3, you have Justin Lewis, a freshman of Arcadia. Jack Shoplock in lane 4, junior of Arcadia. In lane 5, Schwartz, freshman of Kings. Hassard, a freshman of Albright in lane 6. Aspie in lane 7. And Michalik, a senior of Stevenson, in lane 8. So I'm interested to see here what will happen. Right now, the early lead for Justin Lewis. The farthest separation is 3 seconds between all 8 of these swimmers on the season. They'll have 25 yards to go here left in the men's 100-yard breaststroke. Again, Heat 1, we still have a couple of events left after this one here in the preliminaries. This one's going to be tight coming to the line, but right now out in front, and indeed more than likely winning it, is going to be the freshman of Arcadia, Justin Lewis. So Lewis comes in first, Hassard second, Schwartz third. Going to be Shoplock fourth. Fifth will end up going to Aspie. As you look at the scoreboard now, sixth, Brought, seventh, Michalik, and eighth, Mikazi. So now we had the Heat 2. Here is your lineup for Heat 2. David Welch, sophomore Messiah in lane 1. Anthony Pape, senior Messiah in lane 2. Corey Hassler, a sophomore of Albright, lane 3. Paolo Cortez, a junior Widener, as we are underway in lane 4. Chamberlain, a senior of Albright, in lane 5. He's also the two-time champion in this event, 2016 and 2017, looking to get back on top. Kyle Morkin, sophomore of Albright, lane 6. Calafias, senior of Albright, lane 7. Albright in lanes 5 through 7. And freshman Dalton Fink of Arcadia in lane 8. And right now, I mean, it is a dominant lead for Chamberlain. Chamberlain, he wants to win this badly. 1 minute and 6/10 of a second was his fastest, but he's going to obliterate that there more than likely. A big win for Chamberlain. See what it is at the end. Chamberlain comes to first, Cortez second. How about this for Chamberlain? 56-87. Just off the record. Chamberlain, 56-78 was the time for the record set by Jeff Clark back in 2011, but Chamberlain just off of that. I'll tell you what, that's going to be a very hard time to beat. Cortez came in second with a 59.90, which is the second fastest time. Thus far, only 2 swimmers in that 1 minute mark. So now we will head to Heat 3. Nicholas Dolan in lane 1. Any Day assists in lane 2. He's a senior at Kings. Boxter, a freshman at Kings, lane 3. Luxick, a junior of Widener, lane 4. Ricky Averill, junior of Misericordia, lane 5. Naturale, a sophomore of Arcadia, lane 6. Sistrunk, a junior of Albright, lane 7. And Valentine, a sophomore of Messiah, in lane 8. So they complete for the first 50. They'll have 50 more yards to go. It is neck and neck for the lead between Luxick and Averill. Averill, a pretty good swimmer, along with Luxick. They've swam pretty well this week as the Widener junior taking on the Misericordia junior. Both of these guys will have one more year after the Max Swimming Championships, but right now Ricky Averill in the lead, just barely. Averill will have 5 yards and he will win it. So Averill gets it over Luxick. Averill, not going to be the fastest time, but a 59.21, 59.66 for Luxick. Again, now they become 2 of 4 swimmers that have got within that 1 minute mark. Boxter in third, DeAces fourth. You'll have Naturale fifth, Dolan sixth, Sistrunk seventh, and Valentine in eighth. So this now sets up for the final heat here in this competition of the 100-yard breaststroke, and the defending champion, Hemaker, of last year will be in lane 5. 59.83 is the second fastest time overall. Mark Preedy, who's in lane 4, has the fastest of 58.69. So Besman, a freshman of Hood, lane 1. Caro, a junior of Lycoming, lane 2. Libertor, a junior of Widener, lane 3. We mentioned Preedy in lane 4 and Haymaker in lane 5. Harloff, a freshman in lane 6. Pactacizan, a senior of Lycoming, lane 7. And Stampone, a junior of Wilkes, in lane 8. And it's to no surprise, Haymaker and Preedy back and forth here in the breaststroke. 2 of the fastest swimmers alongside Chamberlain. Haymaker to the lead, right now, but you'll have 25 yards to hold on. Just out in front. This is going to be neck and neck to the finish. Oh, here we go. Preety back out in front. Preety will come at the end and win it over Hammaker. For Preety, 58-36. $59.18 for Hammaker. Third will be Libertor, 101.02. Fourth will be Harloff, 101.66. Fifth will be Besman, 102.47. Sixth will be Paxism, 103.16. Stampone, 103.37. And Caro, 103.42 in eighth. So now we will head to the next and the start of the final two events here in this morning's preliminaries. We'll start off with the women's 100-yard backstroke. We'll have three swimmers in the pool. Katie Gingrich, the senior of Lebanon Valley. This, by the way, will be all Lebanon Valley swimmers here in the pool for this first heat. Gingrich, a senior, 113.44. Frenick, a freshman of Lebanon, 110.73. And Seidow, Kayla Seidow, a freshman as well, with a 110.81. So all these teammates trying to push. Lebanon as well, they have about 6 swimmers in these next 2 heats combined. So they're trying to push a couple of their swimmers to make the finals. Seidow right now with the lead. She was a 10th off the fastest here of the heat one time of Frenick, who had a 110.73. 800ths go back for Seidow, who had an 81. And it's neck and neck as well. Gingrich as well getting into it. They'll have 50 yards, or 25 rather, yards left to go on the 100-yard backstroke. It's going to be Seidow with the lead. Coming to second now is Frenick. Gingrich gave a good push. Now Gingrich takes second back, but Seidow will take the victory. Gingrich will come in second, Frenick in third. And we'll see the time. Seidow 107.78. For her, that's a full 3 seconds faster than her best qualification time on the year. 109.68 for third place Frenick, and Gingrich, who came in second, 108.78. So now we head to Heat 2. Here are the preliminaries. You have Sophie Pescuzzo, a freshman of Lebanon Valley, in lane 1. Caitlin Welch, a sophomore of Lebanon Valley, in lane 2. You have Wasiko, a senior of Stevenson, in lane 3. You'll have Thode, a junior of Y, coming in lane 4 as we are underway. Seidow, a junior of Lebanon Valley, in lane 5. Molnar, a junior of Kings, in lane 6. And Beckmeyer, a senior of Arcadia, in lane 7. Only 7 swimmers here in this Heat 2. And right now, looks to be Seidow with the lead for the moment, but she is neck and neck with 2, make it 3 swimmers. But the lead now goes to Wasiko. Wasiko Stevenson, a senior, she had a 108.93. By the way, all 4 of these swimmers that are neck and neck from lanes 3 through 6 were all within a couple tenths of each other. No one too far separated. We'll see here coming to the end. Right now, lane 2 with the lead, and that's Caitlin Welch. So Welch with the victory. That's the new fastest time. She took the lead there towards the end in the last transition. 102.98. That's the new fastest. Wasiko will come in second, 105.27. Seidow in third. Molnar in fourth. In fifth will be Thode. Sixth will be Pescuzzo. And seventh will be Beckmeyer. So now Heat 3, we'll have 8 women back in the pool for this one. And here is your Heat 3 lineup. Gazelton will be in lane 1, the freshman of Widener. Meyer, a sophomore of Arcadia, in lane 2. Reistel, a freshman of Widener, in lane 3. Savage in lane 4, freshman of Kings. Peterson, a sophomore, Kings, lane 5. Martin, a senior of Messiah, lane 6. Elspeth in lane 7. She's also of Messiah and a sophomore. Bailey Hurt, a junior, in lane 8 of Stevenson. As right now, the lead for Savage. She leads over Reistel. Reistel had a good day swimming yesterday as well. Savage, a freshman. Reistel as well, a freshman. Reistel of Widener, Savage of Kings. And right now, Savage is pulling away from Reistel. And at the end of it all, this is going to be clearly the new fastest time. Savage with the victory. Reistel will come in second. For Savage, she's the first one to crack the 1 minute mark here of the backstroke, 59.67. That is now the brand new time to beat. In second will end up being Reistel, as mentioned. Martin third. Peterson fourth. Elspeth fifth. Sixth will be Meyer. Seventh, Hurt. And eighth, Giselman. So now we head for Heat 4. Allie Reed in lane 1, the sophomore of Widener. Elam, the junior, Stevenson, in lane 2. Widener's senior, Lauren Griffith, in lane 3. Mackenzie Zeller in lane 4. She's a sophomore of Line Coming. The 2017 champion, Kobe Steen. She's the senior of Stevenson, in lane 5. Molly Hager, the senior of Messiah, in lane 6. Ann Coleman, a freshman of Hood, lane 7. Riley Sella, a junior of Arcadia, in lane 8. And right now, the lead is Kobe Steen. Steen, she's looking to win this event for the second time in her career, the senior, wanting to end out on a positive note. Steen, a very, very good swimmer, would love a victory here in the finals today. And right now, she looks like she's going to get it done over Zeller. Steen has about a 4-yard lead, and she will win it. Zeller comes in second. They finish through the rest. Steen, 57-62. She's just a second and a half off the record. A big win for Steen. That's going to easily put her into the top 8 for tonight. And 57-62 for Steen. Zeller, 58-50. Milan, 58-98. Griffith, 102.04. You have Hager in 5th, 104.01. Coleman, 6th, 104.20. Reed, 105.84 in 7th. And Sella, 107.59 in 8th. So this will set up for the final heat here, Heat 5. Megan Witt, a junior of Kings, will be in lane 1. Bianca Wargo, a freshman of Albright, lane 2. Han Solomon, a senior of Hood, who swam great this week, will be in lane 3. Hollenbeck, the defending champion of this event, a sophomore of Messiah, will be in lane 4. In lane 5 will be Carlson, a freshman of Misericordia. In the 6th spot will be Schertler, a junior of Misericordia, in lane 6. Kate Duffy, a freshman of Kings, in lane 7. And Jessica Rogers, a freshman of Arcadia, in lane 8. This is the last heat of the 100-yard backstroke for the women. And then we'll have our final preliminary for the men's in the 100-yard backstroke. Hollenbeck out to an early lead. Is the sophomore, and you got to assume tonight would be an interesting matchup with both her and Kobe Steen. Hollenbeck looking dominant here in lane 4. She has about a 4-yard lead already with 50 yards left to go. Hollenbeck doing a very good job here. The record was set by Laura Harris, 56-13 in 2014. Hollenbeck may be very well on track to putting that record in danger. We've already seen 2 broken today here in these preliminaries, and Hollenbeck now has more than a 5-yard lead. Hollenbeck pulling away. She will win it. Carlson will come in second, the freshman. Hollenbeck, let's see the final time, 58-23. So actually there, I believe Steen was faster. As we look at the final times, Hollenbeck again, 58-23. Carlson second, 1 minute and 19. Third will be Hans Solomon. Fourth, Shirtler. Fifth will be Duffy. Sixth, Wargo. Seventh, Witt. And eighth, Rogers. So we'll head to the men's here. This is our final preliminary here of the day. We'll come back tonight for the final. We'll also have a time trial here at the end for the 50-yard freestyle. But we'll get to that after this. 3 swimmers in the pool. You have Colocafias, the senior of Albright in lane 3. Best Jack, a sophomore of Lebanon Valley in lane 4. And Osborne, a senior of Wilkes in lane 5. So we're underway. And an early lead looks to be Colocafias, followed by Best Jack and Osborne. They come back around. And now to the lead. In the first 50 yards is Best Jack, but he's being challenged still by Colocafias. Colocafias now back to the lead. It's about by 2 or 3 yards. But this looks to be a very tight heat 1 here. When it comes to the end, it's all going to matter on transition if Colocafias or Best Jack will win it. Colocafias spreading away with the lead. And now it's by 5 yards or so, and he will win. Second will be Best Jack. Osborne will come in third. See what the time was for Colocafias. 1 minute and 5 tenths and 3/100ths of a second. 1 minute and 2 and 9 tenths and 9/100ths of a second for Best Jack and Osborne. 1 minute and 4 seconds and .79. So 8 swimmers will come back in the pool here. We have 4 heats in this men's 100-yard backstroke. Joshua Atkins, a sophomore of FDU in lane 1. Jacob Westner, a sophomore of Wilkes in lane 2. Curtis Patil, a senior of Messiah in lane 3. Hayden Bergen, a junior of Misericordia in lane 4. Logan Flugel, a sophomore of Misericordia in lane 5. Sean Riddle, a senior of Albright in lane 6. John Quasier, a senior of Kings in lane 7. And Sam Sherrard, a senior of I coming in lane 8. They're 50 yards in. And it looks right now the lead is in the hands of Flugel. He's just barely over Sean Riddle. Flugel 54.65. The time to beat in this preliminary was a 53.33 by Bergen. But now the lead as of the moment to Riddle. It's going to come down to the end. Did Riddle get it? I believe he did. Riddle wins. Bergen second. Flugel third. So Flugel had the lead. He managed to lose it and fall to third. Patil fourth. Fifth will go to Westner. As you look at the rest, 6th place will go to Casazier, 7th Atkins, and 8th Sherrard. That's a new fastest time set by Riddle here in this heat. So now we head to heat 3 of 4. Jack Cashin, a freshman of Arcadia in lane 1. Sean Parrott, a freshman of Kings in lane 2. You have Messendero, a junior of Widener, in lane 3. You have the defending champion, Colin Jordan, in lane 4. The senior of Lycoming, 51.92 is his time to beat here. Joseph Giuliano, who swam great for Albright, the freshman, 54.47. Setchler Stone, a freshman of Wilkes, in lane 6. Baradelli, a sophomore of Lycoming, in lane 7. And Shane Miller, a freshman of Wilkes, in lane 8. 25 yards in. It's a two-man race as of the moment here on the backstroke. Pumping hard is Jordan, and he has Giuliano neck and neck. Giuliano, a very good swimmer, but right now Jordan is pulling away and looking to not only clinch a spot into the finals, but also challenge Aaron Green, who we'll see in the next heat, to defend his title, as Jordan will win. Second will be Giuliano as the rest come to an end here. Jordan, 50.95, a full second off the championship record, a very solid time. Giuliano comes second, 52.77. That should be safe enough to put him into the final, but we will find out. Mascador will come in third, 55.67. Parrott will come in fourth, 55.86. Shelter in fifth. Cashin in sixth. Bardelli in seventh, and Miller in eighth. So here is our final 100-yard backstroke here in the preliminaries. You have Pathamore, a freshman of Widener, in lane 1. Williams, a freshman of Kings, in lane 2. Grosshart, a senior of Kings, in lane 3. Aaron Green, the two-time champion of this event back in 2016 and 2017. He also won his 8th individual championship yesterday. The senior of Widener, in lane 4. Ridge Haggard, a sophomore of Messiah, in lane 5. Jake Booth, a freshman of Lycoming, lane 6. Thompson, a junior of Albright, in lane 7, and Sean Berg, a freshman of Misericordia, in lane 8. Green with the lead as of the moment as they head through the backstroke. He's tightly contested from Ridge Haggard. Also, you have Grosshart in third, but the question is, can anyone beat Aaron Green? Green in his career has never finished lower than second in any final, and he's being challenged by Hager, but Hager looks like he's not going to have enough. Aaron Green will win. And let's see that time for Green. 51.74. That's enough, I believe, for second fastest overall. Hager, he as well would be safe at 52.65. So we look at the rest. Grosshart will come in third. Fourth is Booth. Fifth, Thompson. Sixth will be Williams. Seventh, Berg. And eighth, Pathamore. So now we will have one time trial to end the preliminaries here. We'll have Jake Valentine, the sophomore Messiah, who will attempt his 50-yard freestyle time trial here. The record was set by Steve Hawley in the championship, 21-17. The NCAA D3 cut record is a 1966. The invite record, IMVT invite, is a 2043, and the B NCAA D3B cut is a 2066. So Valentine, he'll have 50 yards to do so. He's the only man in the pool to end out preliminaries. Deep dive there for Valentine as he's towards the middle section of the pool already. He'll get to the end here and he'll touch and come back around. He's setting a pretty solid time, I'd say, as Valentine, again coming across the mid portion, not giving an inch. He will touch the end here, and let's see what that final time is. Should be a relatively solid one, 24.62. Now, if we match that with the finals, 24.62 would have been enough to put him in 38th overall in the prelims. But overall, a solid chance there. So as we head into tonight, again, we covered the women's standings. Let's just update you real quickly on the men's going into tonight after the 200 relay yesterday. Albright has the lead, 239 points over Arcadia with 180. Widener in third, 158. They also sit second in the women's. Kings, 142. They sit in fourth. Messiah fifth, 131. Wilkes, 97 in sixth. Mezzocordia seventh, 86. Hood in eighth with 82. Lycoming in ninth with 78. FDU Florham in 10th with 59. And Lebanon Valley sits in last with 40. But that'll do it here from the preliminaries here in session 4. We will see you at 6 p.m. tonight for the finals. And I'll tell you, it should be a good one. I've been Tim Moore, and we will see you tonight. Thank you for watching the MAC 2019 Swimming Championships here on a good Saturday morning.